Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the divine protocol to receive divine knowledge. To have divine knowledge, you have to have divine protocol. If you just want knowledge, then you don't have to go through any sort of protocol. But if you look, in order to get knowledge of this dunya too, you have to go through so much protocol. You want real knowledge to become a lawyer, you have to go through so much protocol. High school, college, law school, everything. To be a legitimate lawyer. If you just want to be someone who just studies law because it's his hobby and thinks that he knows something about law, you can be, but you're going to be a fake lawyer. You're not going to be a real one. Dunya knowledge, you want to become a doctor, you want to become an engineer, a cook. You have to go through a protocol. You don't have to go through that protocol, but you're not going to be so good. So for divine knowledge, we are asking that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through the divine protocol, to send us what is necessary for us. And there is a question that they just asked me about death and how to balance the thinking about death. On the one hand, you are excited to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. On the other hand, you have fear from the death. How are we supposed to balance this? How are you supposed to juggle this together? There's no juggling. The man, he is sleeping. Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, Hazrat Ali is saying, of course, whatever that Hazrat Ali Karamallahu Wajhah is saying is coming through the Prophet ﷺ. Never he's speaking from his own self. Because his teacher is the Prophet ﷺ. Man is sleeping. When he wakes up, it's when he dies. When he dies, he wakes up. Check to see that's not burning. It's okay. So, man is asleep. When he dies, he wakes up. So what is death now? What is death? Death is to be awake. Correct? So many thinking of death, they think of death means angel of death. Sakratul Maut. The pain of the death. It's burning, right? I swear to you, when I was having the zikr, I said, what if it burns? These things are going to rain and everything. I have to watch everything. Thinking punishment in the grave. Isn't that what it is? This is all legitimate, of course. This is all real. We have to think about this. Sirat, Judgment Day, Sirat, hell or paradise. But what is the Holy Prophet ﷺ saying? Man is asleep. And when he dies, he wakes up. So death is what? Waking up. How many times we hear the words, wake up, from our Shaykh? How many times? Countless. How many times you hear from me? Quite a lot. You guys are getting fed up too when I say that. Wake up. So the whole point of death is to what? Is to be awake, to be aware, not to be in ghaflat, not to have this world to veil you, not to have your desires, not to have so many things. Count. Doesn't matter that time someone says to you, 1 veil, 7 veils, or 70,000 veils. So now, our understanding of death, it is real, but it's also completely different, but it's also completely going to the source. Don't think of it as I fear or I love. I fear death so much I don't want to die. I fear death so much, I cannot do anything. I fear death so much, but it's not pushing me to do good. I fear death so much, and I do good. That's good. Everything is good, but what is the point of death? It is to wake up to reality. So what is our Shaykh teaching us? There's old school Sufism. New school Sufism is just to praise you. New school Sufism is just to say it's all love. You love me, I love you. We are all so much in love with each other. This world is love. Everything is love. Don't you see? That's why this world is so much love. Don't you see? That's why Hazrat Mahdi is going to come, because this world is filled with love. Don't you see? That's why Dajjal is going to come, because this world is filled with so much love. So what is our Shaykh really teaching us? Old school tariqat. Old school Sufism. To teach us to what? Connected to this. Connected to death. To die before you die. To die before you die. To wake up before they wake you up. Understand? So to be awake. To be awake to yourself. Who am I? Where was I yesterday? Where am I going tomorrow? Why was I sent to this world? What am I busy with? What should I be busy with? To die before you die. To be awake. So what are we dying before we die? What are we dying from? To be awake. To be awake to yourself. To be awake from this dunya. Not to be awake to the dunya. Majority, they say to be awake means to be awake to live in this dunya, how to earn from this dunya, how to be very good in this dunya, to prepare for this dunya as if we're going to live here for 1,000 years. Shaykh Effendi is saying this hadith, I haven't mentioned it so much these days. They're saying, Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, what? Prepare for this world as if you're going to live. No, prepare for this world as much as you're going to live in it. Correct? And prepare for the Akhirat as much as you're going to live in Akhirat. Majority are thinking, taking this hadith, saying that, oh, that means I live in this world 60 years, 70 years. I must run to squeeze in as much as I can because I'm going to die in 60 years. To live as much as I can, to squeeze everything from this world, to enjoy, to live, to taste everything because I'm going to die in 60 years. Akhirat, oh, Akhirat is forever, so I don't have to run because it's going to take such a long time. That is a shaitanic interpretation. Because Prophet ﷺ is explained through the awliya Allah, the meaning is the opposite. And what is that meaning? You are going to live in this world only for a very short while. If we are traveling, now we know, we're traveling, as few luggage as we have, easier for us to travel, isn't it? What if you have 3 bags? What if you have 10 bags? What if you have 30 bags? How difficult it is to travel, to reach from one destination to another. But if you travel lightly, you can travel very easy. Awliya Allah, our Shaykh is explaining to us the opposite. Live in this world as much as you're going to live in it. To know this world is a very short while. We're just travelers. We're not going to stay. So live in this world. Collect from this world. Have hopes from this world. Enjoy of this world. Only for that very short while that we're given. Because we are preparing ourselves for eternity. And we came from pre-eternity. And we're going to, inshallah Rahman, enter into eternity to post-eternity. So the important thing is to prepare ourselves for that post-eternity, for that eternity. That's a very long while. Very, very long time. Do we have enough? If you know that you're going to travel for 4 days, that you're going to stay for 4 days, it's different than knowing that you're going to stay for 40 days, isn't it? What if you know that you're going to stay for 40 years? Aren't you going to prepare more for 40 years? What if you're told that you're going to stay for 400 years? 4,000 years? So now our concern is to be awake and to prepare ourselves for that reality that we're going to enter. How are we going to prepare ourselves for that? How are we going to prepare ourselves for that eternity? Our Shaykh Sahibul Saif, Shaykh Kribisi Rabbani, may Allah raise his station higher and higher, may his himmat reach to us, inshallah. His whole life is dedicated to preparing his murids for that. To tell us always to wake up. Don't fall into ghaflat. Don't fall into heedlessness. Don't fall into illusion and delusion. Don't fall into the tricks and the traps of this dunya, or our ego, shaitan, or our desires. To be awake. And what is the meaning there? To die before you die, as we say. When you die, you wake up. So to be awake before they wake you up. To be awake to understand who you are. To be awake to understand where you're going. To be awake to understand what this world has to offer. As believers, what does this world have to offer to us? Really, what does this world have to offer to us? You're still thinking that this world is nice and rosy and beautiful and the sun is shining, everyone is good to you. You still have not woken up to the reality of this world. You feel that this world is an enemy and it's out to get you. You're going somewhere. So many are stuck at that level too. They feel then that way because they're not sitting down to think for the next step. They're not looking for a guide. They're not understanding how to get out from that station. They get stuck there. They become paranoid. Shaitan comes whispering to them and say, now just kill yourself. It's just hopeless. Everything is just hopeless. This world is hopeless, so kill yourself. It's not. Shaitan will never say you're going to go to a better place. So now, we're awake to this world. Know that this world, it is an enemy. But we have to live in this world. We must be awake than to seek the enemy that is inside of us. What is this that's stopping me from waking up, from understanding, oh, it's my ego, it's my hawa, it's shaitan. And once you wake up to this, what are you going to do? What is the whole point of waking up? What is the whole point of waking up? What is the whole point of our creation? It's to know Allah and it's to worship Allah. So die before you die. In that dying, you'll awake. In that wakening up, you will start to know your Lord and you'll start to worship Him. And once you start knowing your Lord, worshipping your Lord through service, you'll be busy serving, getting it right, trying to improve every day. That you will not be busy with other things. You're not going to be busy about getting so paranoid. How is my death going to be? Sakratul Maut is going to come. The angel of death. It is all true. It is going to come. But you are more concerned in getting the job right, because you are concerned at that time. Why are you trying to get the service right? Because you want to please your Lord. You're not scared of death just because you're scared of death. You're not scared of death because you cannot, you don't want to leave this world. You're not scared of death just from a fear of this. You are scared that you will finish your life here without finishing your work, and that the work that you did is not going to be pleasing to your Lord, pleasing to His Prophet, pleasing to our Shaykh. Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, if you know that the world is going to end tomorrow, and if your job is to plant a date tree, plant it. Isn't this what we're trying to do? What else can we do? Nothing much. But the job that He has sent us to do, the work that He has sent us to do that. What is this work that He's sending us to do? The service, because it involves now definitely fighting against this world, fighting against our ego, isn't it? Fighting against shaitan and our desires, fighting against it, engaging in this struggle, engaging in this jihadul akbar. And if we die, what do you think will happen? If someone were to die in the struggle, what happens to him? Understand? Inshallah, may we die that way. Now there is no permission to engage in the lesser one, to take out the sword or to fight physically, but the way is open for everyone to be engaged in the inner struggle, which is the greatest struggle. That one is the lesser struggle, this is the greatest struggle. That time we are more concerned with the struggle and doing the work than if Allah is going to take our life in that. If we are sincerely every day thinking and understanding, going through our intention, going through our work and trying sincerely, not giving us any excuse. Trying and running to please our Lord, to please our Shaykh. At that time, if they take our life, it's as they like. Because our concern is to wake up. Our concern is to be awake about this world. To wake up from our ghaflat, wake up from our ego. And in the service that we're doing at every turn, don't you see? It's saying to you, wake up at every turn, wake up, wake up, wake up. So, it's going to be a little bit intense. Yes, of course it's going to be a little bit intense. Because this is what a higher level of learning must be. If a higher level of learning is so easy, then it is cheap, it is fake. Higher level of learning must be very difficult. The more you enter into a higher learning, more you discover that everything I know before is wrong. Everything I know before has to change. It has to change. It has to shake you up. May Allah accept our service, inshallah. Our service is weak. But we are trying. We're not here to praise each other. We're not here to say everything is all right. We're here to be awake to the realities of this world. Every day must pass that we become more awake to the lying and cheating nature of this world, and the lying and cheating nature of our ego, of our desires and shaitan. The more we are awake and running away from that to serve Allah and His Prophet and our Shaykh, the more that time, the death that comes to us, it will be easier. Inshallah Rahman. Just as Inshallah Shaykh Effendi is loving Hazrat Umar so much. Always speaking about Hazrat Umar Radiallahu an. May Allah bless him. Hazrat Umar, when he was in his grave and the questioning angels came to him and they asked him the question, who is your Lord? First question. He said to that angel, what's that you asked me? I didn't hear properly. Come closer. The angel thought this is a very unusual request. Came closer. How is it in Arabic? Marabbuka? Marabbuka. Who is your Lord? To Umar saying, I still can't hear you. Come closer. The angel come close to him. He says, who is your Lord? Third time, Hazrat Umar just take his hand, make it to a punch, and just punch him in the face. Punch his eye out. The angel was very shocked. And he said, you dare to ask me that question? Who is my Lord? Have I not lived my whole life for my Lord and His Prophet? Did not I die, was made martyr, because Hazrat Umar was going into the mihrab, and one Majusi, Persian kind, came out and stabbed him with, I think there's poison, no? The blade was poison. It says, I was living my life and my death. Inna salati wa nuhsuki wa mahyaya mamati. My life and my death, only for my Lord, and you dare to ask me that question? That's not for us, of course. Only Hazrat Umar is able to do that. And those who have given their lives like Hazrat Umar, they have that right now to question the angel in the grave who questions them. For that one who has lived his life, his devotions, his worship, his life and his death is only for his Lord. Yes, that time, the angel that is going to question you, maybe because of Hazrat Umar, he's going to be a bit more careful. For us, we have to ask ourselves that question every day. Who is our Lord? Who are we serving today? Who are we serving? Am I going to serve my ambition today? Am I going to serve my wife, my husband, my job, my boss, my children? Going to serve my ego, my nafs? Who am I going to serve today? Who is my Lord today? For us, we need to ask ourselves that question. Sincerely, we need to ask. If we find a sincere answer, they'll say, no, I'm not serving Allah. I'm waking up because my main thought is to go to work only. I'm not serving Allah. If I'm waking up, I open my eyes and I remember my Lord first, and I'm being very busy with that, and I'm saying, Ya Rabbi, today my intention is to live for you and to die for you and to serve you. Then that time everything he does in the whole day is worship. because he's putting his Lord first. That one is okay, inshallah. That is what our Shaykh is teaching us. May Allah accept our week service. ومن الله توفيق الفاتحة.